From the shadows of the radio towers,
This is the Gay PHX Podcast.
your weekly dose of real talk
Queer joy.
and community connection.
It's gonna be a good day, and everything is going to go my way. It's gonna be a good day. The sun is shining bright and it's here to stay.
Hey Phoenix, it's June in the desert and Pride Month is officially on. Pool parties? Check. Shakespeare? Check. And ticket giveaways? Oh, honey.
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ blow my speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight.
Welcome to the Gay PHX Podcast, your rainbow-tinted microphone for everything fierce, festive, and fabulously Phoenix. I'm Billy, and together with my husband Brian, we're bringing you the people, places, and pride-packed moments lighting up Arizona's LGBTQ+ scene. We caught the wild ride that was Liar Liar, and let's just say, Phoenix has some stories to tell. And then we dove headfirst into the queer theatrical dream at All Queer Shakespeare. There were sword fights, live music, interactive rooms, including one for tattoos, and Shakespeare, who absolutely slayed it. Brian even tried out some stage work and nailed it. It was immersive, expressive, and unforgettable. We're hoping to bring All Queer Shakespeare onto a future episode because their season ahead looks like something you don't want to miss. June 1st kicked off Pride Month in true Phoenix fashion, and a little rain didn't stop Grit's pool party from turning up the heat. The Pemberton looked like it was packed with pride, and we wrapped up the day by welcoming home Terry and Britt from IML at Newtown's Backyard Barbecue, full of hugs and good vibes. Shout out to the rest of our AML family. We missed you. And yes, if you saw some digital weirdness on our site, blame the bots. And just like the song says,
Nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
no data was lost, no data was stolen, just an annoyance, and we've tightened things up, and the show rolls on. Now, let's talk tickets. The Oliver Electric Pride Night giveaway is going strong at gayphx.com, and we'll be drawing a winner in the next couple of weeks. But thanks to Live Nation, we've also got tickets to the Tits Out Tour featuring Kesha, Scissor Sisters, and Slater coming to Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater on July 6th. You've got two ways to win. Online, we've got 4 weeks of giveaways at gayphx.com, and in person, 10 local chances to win live and on site. That's right, Live Nation didn't just hand us tickets to give away online, they trusted us to work with the community to put them in the hands of the people who make these events shine. Whether you're at a dance party, a drag show, or a bingo night, there might be a golden ticket waiting for you. One of your first on-site chances to win this week is with Night Monroe at Sky Bar in Tucson during Night on the Town. Other giveaway spots include Newtown Saloon's Pokino, Pat O's Bunkhouse Bear Encounters, The Rock's Rosie Savage Drag Show and Bark After Dark, Boycott, The Royal Treatment, at Koblat, Foursome Review, Stacy's at Melrose has Sunday Service and Milkshake, and Ozbar with DJ Topstar Karaoke. By the way, Ozbar is nominated for Best Karaoke in the Valley. Go vote at gayphx.com/vote. You can buy tickets to see Kesha and Scissor Sisters at gayphx.com/live nation, but winning them with us, that's where the glitter hits. We've also got news on the Daddy's Day giveaway from Arizona Men of Leather coming up later in the show, as well as a call to action to save CCR.com. And today, we're bringing you two conversations from the heart of the community. First up, Brandon Sowers from the Phoenix Gay Men's Choir takes us behind the scenes of their upcoming Rhinestone Rodeo, a full-on country queer spectacular debuting during Deadbeat Pride weekend. Then we sit down with Jeffrey Perales, the owner of Koblat, to talk about building a bar with purpose, resilience through COVID, and why creating space for political visibility in drag artists matters now more than ever. These aren't just venues and events, they're stories, they're people, they're you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the next hour of conversation, connection, and community. From all of us here at Gay PHX, thank you for listening and for being part of the pride that keeps the city shining. Let's pass it over to Brian for what's happening this week across the valley. Take it away, Brian.
You're listening to the Gay PHX Podcast.
Where community comes first.
Hey, Gay PHXers, happy Pride Month, baby. This is the time of year where we turn up the volume on visibility, celebration, and community love. Whether you're singing your truth, shopping with pride, or stomping the stage in rhinestone boots, we see you, we hear you, and we're doing this all together. Coming to you from the shadows of the radio towers, it's time for your Gay PHX Weekend Picks. I'm Brian, and every week I bring you Brian's Hot 3, the LGBTQ plus events lighting up the Phoenix scene that you absolutely can't miss. From across the valley, it's everything fierce, fabulous, and full of local flavor. Let's jump in and make this Pride Month one to remember. Let's get into it. I got a chance to see Liar Liar storytelling at the Royal Kitchen and Cocktails. It's a new twist on storytelling. It was fun and hard to figure out who was the liar of the group. Always a theme they have as well. The next show will be Daddy Issues. Christopher Hooper and Carly Davis bring a monthly event to Royal Kitchen and Cocktails. If you get a chance, I highly recommend that you see it. Now, we have Friday, June 6th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, June 7th at 2 and 7 p.m., the Rhinestone Rodeo. Tempe Center for the Arts is a location. Y'all ready for this? The Phoenix Gay Men's Choir is dusting off their boots and bringing sparkle to the stage with the Rhinestone Rodeo, a boot-scooting, harmony-filled hoedown celebrating country music with a fabulous queer twist. Expect big vocals, bigger hair, and your favorite country anthems from legends like Dolly Parton, Orville Peck, and Miranda Lambert, plus some fierce hosting by drag darlings Moxie and Penny Silland. Country music is about heart, grit, and belonging, and this show makes it clear. Queer voices belong in that story too. Get your tickets and giddy up, darling. This is one rodeo you do not want to miss. Friday, June 6th at 9 p.m., karaoke night at Ozbar, 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. It's not just karaoke, it's a whole Friday night vibe. DJ Topstar is spinning the hits, the mic is hot, and the crowd is loud. Step up and sing your heart out. You might even score a free drink if you slay your song. The energy is always electric, and it's no surprise Ozbar is nominated for Best Karaoke in the Valley. Want to help them snag the crown? Tap that vote at gayphx.com/vote. And now lean in, babes, because here's the tea. Word on the street is the next Gay PHX hot ticket giveaway is for Keisha Tits Out Tour. Yes, Keisha live. And you? All you got to do is sing at karaoke night at Oz to be entered in the exclusive drawing happening live that night. So bring the glitter, hit your high note, and you just might walk out with free Keisha tickets and karaoke bragging rights. Want to secure your spot at the show? Visit gayphx.com/livenation to grab tickets now. Sunday, June 8th, 10 to 4 p.m., Queer Summer Market. Family-friendly outdoor market. Celebrate Pride Month with some retail therapy and righteous community love at the Queer Summer Market. Come out and support LGBTQ plus owned and allied businesses with local vendors, food trucks, live music, and a welcoming rainbow-filled vibe. Pride is about visibility, unity, and support, and your dollars make a difference. Show up, shop proud, support local queer excellence. And guess what? We have bonus tea for you. They're giving away swag bags to the first 100 attendees, so come early. And that's your Brian's Hot 3 for the week. This has been your Gay PHX Weekend Picks. Catch you next week, same time, same vibe, same rainbow-tinted mic. Whether you're sleuthing out liars at storytelling night, stomping in sequins at a Rhinestone Rodeo, carooning at Keisha at karaoke, or shopping small at the queer market, this is Pride in action. It's not just parties and parades, it's presence, it's power, it's you. So go out, show up, be proud, and keep being unapologetically you. For more events, giveaways, and desert queerness in full bloom, visit gayphx.com and get plugged into your community. Coming to you from the shadows of the radio towers, I'm Brian, and that's what's hot.
Want all the details? Head over to gayphx.com, your one-stop shop for queer events, promos, and everything happening in the Valley.
More stories, more voices, more pride.
You're tuned in to the Gay PHX podcast.
4 days, one epic weekend in Palm Springs. Beginning June 18th, it's Tidal Wave 17, Camp Morningwood. The sun is high, the pools are wild, the parties never stop. Drag queen bingo, mixers, nightly dances including a Pitch the Perfect Tent underwear dance. Surprises at every turn, bare naked yoga, an exclusive poolside viewing of Maxi Luau, Drag Super Shiro, Camp Morningwood. Tickets are moving fast. Get yours now at TidalWaveParty.com. Don't wait, that's TidalWaveParty.com. TidalWaveParty.com.
Pride isn't just a weekend.
It's a way of life.
Celebrate all month long.
On the Gay PHX podcast.
Another voice, another vibe, another reason we love this community.
You know that feeling when music gives you the chills and suddenly you feel seen, heard, and connected? Well, that's what the Phoenix Gay Men's Choir has been doing for decades. From Broadway belters to moving ballads, they've become a vital voice in Arizona's LGBTQ+ community. And today we're meeting someone who helps make that magic happen, whether it's on stage or behind the scenes. Please welcome to the rainbow-tinted microphone, Brandon Sowers.
Thank you. That's quite the introduction. I was not expecting that. That's amazing.
Well, it's well deserved. You know, it's a lot of work what you guys do, and I appreciate you coming on here and taking time out of your busy schedule to do this. So it means a lot to us.
Yeah, of course.
And just to someone who's never been to one of your shows, what can they expect from the moment the lights go down and the music starts?
Oh man, we like to think that our shows are pretty special and at times pretty unique. We are a chorus. And I think we would consider ourselves like a show chorus for sure. We really work to make sure that, one, you leave feeling inspired, right? Like that's something that you can expect when you go to the show too. But visually, we also want to make sure that you had a good time, right? And when you're at our shows, from the choreography to what we're wearing to what we're showing on screen to the way that we sound, right? Like all those things kind of come together to make what we think is a really special experience and special time. So that's kind of what you can expect. And I think too, people ask, what do you sing? And when you hear chorus, you tend to think, oh, I'm sure you do some traditional things, right? Some traditional chorus stuff. And we definitely do a little bit of that, but we also have our contemporary music and we do pop music and we do different genres, basically just to try to do what we love and make a sound that sounds amazing and just mostly entertain our crowds. So people that have not been to our concerts often leave saying, I did not expect that. And that was a great feeling to have.
So how do you choose your themes?
Yeah. So typically what we do, like at the beginning of the year in December, we sit down with an artistic committee within the chorus and we just talk about like, what is our mission this year? What are different things that we want to try to convey? And for our holiday concert, we always know that that's going to be a special holiday treat. It typically has like a storyline and is written with dialogue. For the summer, we try to look at like what's trending, what are other people doing that we think is exciting, what are other choruses trying out or music that they're doing, and then we kind of arrive at a theme together artistically and then build a set list around that, right? So usually it's a dedicated team, probably within the chorus of around, I would say, 10 to 20 people who share ideas, share songs that they love, and then kind of build a theme from there.
What's a specific message that you're hoping to share with the audience this year?
Yeah, well, I think it's been kind of a challenging year, obviously, for the LGBTQ community, right? And we are now at a place where I think we feel like we need to be louder than ever. And as we looked at doing a concert this summer, I think one of the most powerful things that we thought we could do was to do a genre that we're not known for doing, to do a genre that traditionally people don't maybe see as LGBTQ. And that was country. That for us said, nothing makes a statement more than us taking a genre that we're not known for and making it our own and showing a little bit of like, what is the queer history in country music and how can we convey that and how can we tell our story and how can we tell our message through that. So that's where we arrived this year for our summer finale, which is at Tempe Center for the Arts. And it is a full-on country spectacle, Rhinestone Rodeo. And we're so excited for it. It's really going to be a treat. I don't think people are prepared for what we're doing. And even some head scratches of country. All right, country music. But it felt like the right time, and it felt like also different audiences were embracing country music more this year, and it felt like the right moment to do this.
Yeah, it's interesting with Lil Nas X and everybody kind of bridging a little bit of country. It's been interesting the amount of country I've seen. Ironically, I worked at Camel Country, so I
Oh, yeah, you're familiar. You know.
I am. So that's
Yeah.
why it's like been like I've been studying. I'm ready for this.
Right. Put me in, Coach. I'm ready to go.
Right. So what's a typical rehearsal week like? Well, how do you guys prep for a show?
Oh, it's months in the making. We rehearse every Tuesday, so we're so fortunate to have a rehearsal space down at Parsons Center for Health and Wellness in the heart of downtown Phoenix. And so we rehearse every Tuesday for a couple of hours, and then as we get closer and closer to the show, we start to do more rehearsal opportunities to get to where we're ready for the actual concert, right? So we get together, like I said, down at Parsons, and it's through repetition mostly, right? Like that when you're memorizing new music and when you're memorizing choral music too, it's a lot of going over things and going over the song together and hearing the music and hearing different parts within the music to where by the time we finally get to the concert, and for Rhinestone Rodeo, we've been preparing since early February. And so by the time we get to the concert, we know the music, we know what to look for, the dancers know their thing, everything just kind of comes together to make a huge concert weekend, essentially. So it's some dedicated hours for sure. I think one time I mapped out how many rehearsals on average a chorus member in our chorus goes through before they get to the actual concert, and I think it was somewhere in the 20 to 25 rehearsals before we take the stage. So it's a commitment, but it is such a passion, right? If you're committing that many hours to something, you obviously love it, and you can't wait to dance on stage. So,
and then it shows in the performance because you've got it down pat.
Yeah, usually. Mostly. I'm kidding. We're usually pretty polished, but sometimes, no matter how much, and I'm sure you know this too, like no matter how much you prepare, nothing will prepare you for live stage, live theater, live music. Anything can happen. Yes. Anything will happen. And it's honestly, at the end of the day, it's like knowing like you're never going to get it 100% perfect, but it is going to be amazing nonetheless, right?
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean because people are like, "Oh, you're great on a mic." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm great on a mic." Edited.
Yeah, I get a do-over, right?
Right.
Like, and that is the beauty. I will say that is the nice thing about doing when we do our concerts. We do like a 3-show weekend. So we'll have like an evening, and then we'll have a matinee, and then typically another evening. And it's like, all right, I've got 3 opportunities to really nail it, right? And one concert might be better than the other. But at least I had a do-over, right? I'm like, well, that 2 p.m. did not go my way. Here's looking at the 7 p.m. Let's make sure it happens.
Just keep on trucking.
Yeah, keep on trucking. Nobody noticed that you didn't hit that. Nobody noticed that you didn't hit that note. Let it go. Right. Nobody heard your voice crack. That is all in your brain.
Right. Everyone is still smiling. Look at those smiles. That's what's important. Not what your head is telling you that you did wrong.
Yes, they're still clapping, and that is good. So, yeah.
Now, what's one moment that reminded you that this choir matters, whether to you personally or to the community?
To me, all right, let's see. A moment that this choir mattered. To me personally or the community. I think I'll answer both. So I think to the community, I feel like I see it every single time we wrap a concert. There's a really special moment for a chorus member, and that is the moment where after we are done with the performance, right? We've got our huge performances that we do for our concerts, and after each performance, we go and we meet our families and meet our friends and meet other people that came to the show. And you just kind of like look around and you just see so much joy that it's a feeling that you just, as a chorus member, you just embrace so much, because like I just talked about how much work we put into going into rehearsing and preparing and getting ready, and you just kind of look around and you see everybody that you've been singing alongside with their families and their friends, and it's just pure joy, right? Like people are radiating. People are so on a high from what they just listened to, and the chorus member is on a high from performing and doing so well. And that's really like a really beautiful moment. I've been in the chorus for like 7 years, and as I continue to do this, I kind of take a moment to kind of look around and see how people are interacting with their people. And that's why we do this, right? It's to be a part of the community, and it's to spread messages, but it's also a really way of, honestly, like, and this sounds so cheesy and absolutely ripped from RuPaul, so you can read me, but like it brings families in a way together around a thing that can be difficult for families to accept. And I see that happen a lot with some of the newest members who maybe their experience is like they haven't been out that long, or their relationship with their family might be strained because of just the way the family is handling that information, that news, that acceptance. But like being able to be in the audience and watching what we do and seeing whoever it is that they love up there shine with the rest of the chorus, I believe it, and I know it, to like bridge that kind of gap between families a lot. And so I always take a moment to kind of look around and look at that when we wrap up the concert and kind of do those things too. And for me personally, I always joke that I thought I was pretty gay before I got in the chorus. And then in my first semester, I was for the first time doing like quick drag and wearing high heels and doing things that I hadn't done on a stage ever. And now it's just been an evolution of that. Like I joke with people, I'm like, no, I get gayer and gayer every single year that I sing in the Students Gay Men's Chorus. But
each season?
Yeah, each season. Yeah, it literally started as maybe a little bit shy, and now like in my 7th season, I'm hosting fundraisers as a drag persona and doing the most always. But like that's because the community in the chorus, and that's because the people around me helped me feel so much more confident to be able to do that, to be okay with that, to embrace that feminine side, to have a good time and to do those things too. So I can't bring it to a moment, but I can tell you it's been such an evolution of moments that has changed my life for infinitely better, and also changed the way that I look at the community and the relationships that I have and that kind of thing too. And I know like my experience is not alone in that. A lot of people that are in the chorus are going through the same thing and experiencing the same evolution. And that to me is the coolest part of it all.
And see, that's the beauty. That's why I wanted to do this podcast, so that people could learn about these things. And if they want to do experiences themselves, that they too could do it. So for someone who's looking for community but's nervous out there, what do you want to say to them to help them take that first step? Yeah,
take that first step. We say this all the time. Come to a rehearsal. We have rehearsals, literally all the time. There's a couple of months that we're off season, but for the most part, you look at our calendar year and we're mostly in like active go mode. My first thing would be if you even have like an inkling to look at it, or if you love music and you love this community and you want to learn more or get involved, go to a rehearsal and see what it's about. There's something about being in our rehearsal space and seeing the process, and also hearing the sound that just creates creates chills for people, and they understand exactly what we do right away. And I will also say there are like when you start with anything new, you can do as much as you want right away, or you can take your time, right? Some people get into this chorus and they are so excited I'm going to go to all the fundraisers. I can't wait to be in a leadership role. I can't wait to commit. I love, serving the community and being in this capacity. And then some people are like, I'm here. I love music. Can't wait to sing. I'm going to be at rehearsals and I'll see you at the concert. And that's totally fine, right? Like, however your engagement you want to look, however you want your engagement to look in the chorus is what it can be. And so, like, for those who are feeling shy, for those who are feeling hesitant, you can take your time. And I've never been in an organization that, like, from day one, there's people there to welcome you and bring you in, and also just guide you through, hey, here's some things that I found that were helpful when it came to being in this. Here's some things that I found that were really good to help me kind of learn how all of this preparation for all of our performances works, and what we stand for and all that kind of stuff too. So I feel like it's a combination of things. One, just trust your instincts and go see it, and then audition and take your time. You don't have to do everything all at once. And sometimes I think as humans, we naturally want to do that, right? Like, bring it on. I'll take everything. You don't have to do that.
And does someone need to be a professional singer, or is there room for people who just love to sing but maybe can't carry too much of a tune?
Yeah, there's room for everyone. I will say that. So our one requirement is that you can match pitch a little bit. So like when you go to an audition, you'll be asked to match pitch, and hopefully they can see where your vocal range is a little bit, and then you sing the Star Spangled Banner just so that they can get a good idea of where you might fall. But we have so many different skill levels in the chorus. We've got people that are classically trained. We've got people that have, performed in musical theater. They've done this before. And then we have people that literally, I'm here because I sing in the shower and people have been telling me that I should try to sing on stage, or like I want to be a part of an ensemble, right? I don't want to necessarily get up there and sing solo on the mic, but I can stand with people and I can sing along with them, and that's my comfort level. So we've got a whole mix. We've got people that have read music their entire lives since they were trained when they were a little kid, to people that even still today, I don't know how to fully read music, and I've been in the chorus for 7 years and I'm doing just fine. So we're taught what we learn at a level that anyone can really like achieve. And I think that's really important.
And what's the auditioning or onboarding process like?
Yeah. So we have auditions in August. We're going to run auditions every Tuesday in August, and you sign up online, and then you go in. And when you go in, you're going to meet with our artistic director, Antonio Lozano, and our accompanist, and they're going to get to know you. They're going to get to know who you are, if you have any musical background, what brought you here, a little bit about your background, that kind of thing too. And like I said, they'll play some parts on the piano for you to kind of sing along, hum along with. And then you will, if you feel like channeling your inner Whitney Houston and you want to sing the Star Spangled Banner and belt it, you can. Maybe pick a diva who you feel does it best. Don't do Fergie. That's our one ask for the Star Spangled Banner. And
or Roseanne, right?
Yeah, or Roseanne. I would actually, when you put those two together, I'll take Fergie's. Absolutely. What's funny? I once, a couple of years ago, I was president of the organization, and I printed out, they actually had the sheet music for the sheet music for Fergie's Star Spangled Banner was online. And I printed that out and I gave it to the director at the time, and I was like, hey, I saw this arrangement the other day and I think it's killer. And I was like, we should do it. And he was like, yeah, okay. Is there like a recording that I can like listen to and that kind of thing too? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I was just feeling, why not? I sent him the YouTube video, and then he did message me back, and he was like, I just want to check that you're kidding. And I was, yes. Yes, I am kidding. And also, how dare you if you think that I think that this version is something that we should do? But I think it's so funny.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That unsure of like, oh my goodness, did we pick something bad?
Yeah.
Does he really think this is good? Oh, what did we do?
Like, he's like, I just need to check in on your taste level, and let's see if this is actually something you're considering before I tell you that this is terrible.
Now,
yeah. So
that That's awesome. So you shared your story of kind of an evolution. Can you share the story of someone else who's joined that found more than just a place to sing and help them maybe find their a friendship or confidence that they didn't have before?
Yeah, you know what? It's so fun because there are a lot of people in our chorus that are just going through different walks of life at any given time. And I will say, like, what's been really inspiring to me is like the demographics of our chorus are very diverse now. And what I mean that, like, we've got folks that have that are in their 70s and 80s, all the way to people that are in their like 20s, right? And I think what I'm always like, what I'd love to see is we've had some people who recently, even though they are of an older age, right? They've recently come out of the closet and they were searching for and looking for community as to, you know, like, here I am. I have accepted this about myself. I've come out to my friends and family, and now I want to be on stage in the best version of myself, or the most true, authentic version of myself. And that's actually not like a rare thing. We see that quite a bit in our organization, of people who, after all these years, have just finally come to their own realization of, you know what, this is who I actually am, and this is who I want to proudly be. And I just think we're so lucky as an organization to be a place for those people, and to be a soft place to land. Not everyone, like I said, not everyone's experience in coming out is the same, and sometimes it is difficult, no matter what age you are. And so I just think we're really lucky to be that organization that has that, like I said, that soft place to land, that warm environment that's really kind of changed their experience too. And I think of one person in particular that I know this story to be true about. His name is Tom, and he's one of our older members, and he is a retired veteran, and he was married for many years, and he came out of the closet, and I want to say it was like 3 or 6 months later, he joined the Phoenix Famous Chorus. And he honestly, like, remember how I said this chorus will make you the most gay version of yourself? Tom's journey, he's even said that too. Like, he's like, this is who I am now. He's like wearing the best shirts I've ever seen, with some of the funniest gay things I've ever seen on shirts, and just like embracing who he is. And I'm like, and this man has lived a whole other life, and in his next chapter, he's living this authentic one. And it's because he found us and found this community that he feels safe to do that and proud to do that. And that's like that. Like I said, that experience is not rare. It's not uncommon. It happens all the time through our chorus. So,
is it safe to say, and part of this is just me kind of thinking out loud, is joining the choir almost like putting on wing flappers and learning to swim, as far as it's a toe in the water for the community without feeling so extreme as other people seem to think things are, if that makes sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Like, for example, when I came out to my mother, she's like, okay, so you're going to dress as a woman and be on TV? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just gay.
Not today.
So that whole, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me join the choir, and in 7 years, ask me again.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, it just seems like this is an easier way for people to dip their toe into the community.
Yeah. No, I absolutely 100% agree with what you're saying. I think the way that our organization is structured, and like the work that we do, and the organizations that we also partner with, right? Like, you talk about some of the organizations that we've got in the Valley, right? We've got Phoenix Pride, we've got 1 in 10, we've got Aunt Rita's Foundation, we've got the Greater Phoenix Chamber of Commerce, right? The Equality Chamber of Commerce. Like, we do a lot of stuff with a lot of different people and a lot of different folks in the community. And also, we have such a wide array of activities that, like, you can choose where you dip your toe in. And you can also choose where you don't dip your toe in, right? Like, maybe you don't want to go and be at the bar for that fundraiser later. and you would rather go to that other performance or go do the community service initiative, right? Like there are so many different things that we do as an organization that really like a member can select and deselect what they don't want to be a part of and still have the best time. It is safe. It is a way for you to get immersed without feeling like you said, I'm, okay, I joined the chorus, I'm now a drag queen, or I am living in the bars, or I am, whatever XYZ. There's so many different things that our members do and don't do, and ways that they connect. And we also like throw a whole bunch of social activities too for our members to like connect. Again, some of those in some of the spaces that you would expect, but also some of those are out and about, hiking, going bowling, doing those things and building community in a different way.
That's awesome. And if people can't sing, are there other ways that they can still be involved, like maybe behind the scenes or as a volunteer?
Yes, absolutely. And I said, I almost said that so loud. We are always looking for volunteers, and we're always looking for people to join our organization in that kind of way. We are a large organization, but we're a large organization made up mostly of singers. And so when our singers are on stage, there's always other work to be done and things to do for people who aren't singers but want to support. We have in the chorus what we call the fifth section, right? So you've got your basses, your baritones, your tenor ones, your tenor twos, and then we have the fifth section, and that is a section full of volunteers who come and who join us for our activities, but they're behind the scenes, right? They are doing stuff behind the stage. They're helping out in the lobby. If we've got fundraisers, maybe they're at those fundraisers helping raise money for the organization. Maybe they're joining us for like community service initiatives. They go to our events to support us when we sing. They're there to be that strong section that is not on stage to help us make sure that the things get done that we need done in terms of performances and all of that. So we have those opportunities too. And it doesn't have to be as big of a commitment. Again, in the same way that I talked about how members can select what they want to do, the fifth section can select what they want to do in terms of what their volunteerism looks like and what events they go to and what events they're not able to go to. So we're always looking for people to join that want to see what it's like, that want to experience it for themselves.
Now, I see on the website that it has a National Endowment for the Arts. Does that mean with the current administration that you need to do more fundraising work this year?
Again, that's probably the loudest I ever could have given. Yeah, we're not alone. Other nonprofit organizations that have typically relied on grant funding that's come, from the national level. It's going to be a very difficult year. I anticipate it's going to be an incredibly difficult year for a lot of folks as we all try to raise money for our organizations that rely a lot on those kind of grants. And we have typically operated every year on a national endowment grant and grants through the city of Phoenix and grants through also Tempe, the Tempe grants as well, to be able to go to our venues and be able to use those to do those things too. So it's going to be a big year, and we're looking for new and inventive ways to get out, to get our message out, to get out into the community, and to hopefully bring in new donations and reach out to people that want to support us, because we are expecting a big gap because of what's going on with this administration and the way that funding for the arts, especially funding for LGBTQIA organizations, is going. So to answer your question, yeah, we are going to need a lot of support this next year, as a lot of other organizations.
Well, each time you have an event, you let us know, and we'll be sure to get it on Gay PHX. So let's focus on Rhinestone Rodeo.
Oh, absolutely.
How can people get tickets? How can they join the show? When's it all happening? Details.
Rhinestone Rodeo is going to be a blast. I think what we have created is just a beautiful way of merging what we do with country music and telling the story of country music, but also telling like the the not as highly told story of how like queer artists are actually involved in country music and have been involved for a while. So we put together a really fun show that I think is both heartwarming, fun, but also informative, but in a way that's not overbearing, and really high energy with a lot of stuff. So I'm super excited for people to see it. It is going to be June 6th, Friday, June 6th at 7 p.m. It's also going to be shown again on June 7th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. at Tempe Center for the Arts on Tempe Town Lake in beautiful Tempe, Arizona, where people can go. And we're fortunate to be able, we perform in Tempe Center every June. So we're really excited to be going back for Rhinestone Rodeo. People can get tickets online at phxgmc.org/concerts. They can also visit Tempe Center for the Arts website directly and go and grab tickets from their website as well. And our tickets start at $25 for students and children, $30 for seniors, and then $35 for adults. So I would say the sooner you get your tickets, the better. They are all general admission, but the sooner you get your tickets, the better. The sooner you can start planning all the fun things like parking, who you're going with, all that good stuff too, to be able to get ready for the concert. And then, yeah, and that's a huge week. That's honestly a huge weekend in Tempe that I am going with. We fully planned it. I wasn't aware. Tempe Pride is actually on June 7th. And we're hosting Rhinestone Rodeo on June 7th. So either someone was very smart when they scheduled that or the stars aligned. So it's a big night.
The stars aligned. Because you know what else happens that weekend?
What?
The light rail opens up, the new extension.
No way. It is
Yes.
a banner. It is a banner weekend for Tempe and the Phoenix Valley.
Yes, and for me personally, because it's just down the street from me, I'm very excited about the light rail.
I'm gonna
I'll be able to get around and not have to drive.
You're so lucky. I wish I had that life.
Brandon, thank you so very much for doing this. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this has been a blast, Billy. Thank you for, like I said when we started, like, thank you for having this podcast. I think it is so important. And I just, like, personally love the work that you're doing, and also just so thankful that we have the opportunity to come on and talk about PHXGMC and talk about what we've got going on. So thank you for that.
New episodes, local voices, big queer energy. Subscribe now to the Gay PHX podcast.
I'm Daddy Dave, your friend in the fight to end stigma, and I'm the founder of Team Friendly, here today to talk about injectable HIV meds. Let's talk about long-acting HIV medications. It's a total game changer for both prevention and treatment. Instead of taking pills every day to prevent or treat HIV, long-acting options like injectable PrEP or injectable HIV treatment can be given once every 1 or 2 months, some even less often. That means fewer daily reminders, more privacy, and more freedom. But they're not for everyone. You'll need to visit a provider regularly for your shots, and missing an appointment can raise your risk of resistance. We don't want that. Some people also experience side effects like injection site pain or fatigue. The good news? These meds are safe, effective, and helping more people stay undetectable or HIV-free without that daily pill. Talk to a healthcare provider to see if long-acting options are right for you. Let's live and love stigma-free of HIV.
More stories, more voices, more pride. You're tuned in to the Gay PHX podcast.
Here at Gay PHX, we don't just spotlight what's happening, we show up for what matters, and right now, Copper Cactus Ranch matters. CCR has been a rare gem in Arizona, a clothing-optional, affirming retreat in the high desert where gay men can reconnect with nature, with chosen family, and with themselves. It's a space where generations of our community have found healing, joy, and true belonging. But now, that space is at risk. CCR needs to raise $100,000 to stay open. So far, they've raised $61,909, and there's an opportunity to help that number grow even faster. One of CCR's original donors has stepped up with a second act of generosity. The next 5 $1,000 donations will be matched. That could mean an additional $10,000, bringing us one step closer to saving this sanctuary.
Hi, this is Steve. I'm from Colorado. I just made the 12-hour drive to Copper Cactus Ranch for my third visit last March. Rich and Bobby have always made me feel valued and welcomed at the ranch. Being a person that has been a victim of physical and emotional abuse during my childhood due to me being gay, I truly feel that I feel safe visiting the ranch and would be heartbroken if it had to close.
It was 2020, a Friday night. I pulled into a remote desert valley, PTSD and heartache in tow. On Saturday, among men sharing laughter, grief, and trauma, I found a steady calm settle over me. And by Sunday morning, a fresh sense of hope. That sanctuary is Copper Cactus Ranch, a place where healing finds you. Sadly, without our support, it will close forever. We're halfway to our fundraising goal. Please donate now at saveccr.com.
Howdy, men. This is Dr. Bobby Cook from Copper Cactus Ranch, here with my partner Rich and our son over here. This is Art. There he is. We're trying to finance Copper Cactus Ranch so we can keep this going in the future. There's one place on earth where gay men, straight men, blind men, and trans men can coexist and be friends, have brotherhood. We need for you to donate. If we don't get enough money, we're not going to be able to keep going, and the whole place will be lost, and we're not going to be able to do this again because we can't go back. It's too much work. We need your help now. You guys can help us. We can continue this place. This is my partner, Rich. He's the cook. And over here, this is our son, Art, helping with breakfast. He's a straight young man. We have trans men. We have straight men members. And Martin Luther King said we're supposed to judge people by their character. It's happening here. So please donate. Let's keep this place alive. We've got a dream too. Thank you.
To donate, visit saveccr.com, and if you've got questions, text 702-860-5297. Every dollar makes a difference. And if CCR has been a part of your story, call our feedback line at 602-429-9482. That's 602-GAY-9482, and share your voice. We're collecting messages from the community and featuring them here on the podcast. Let's make sure that Copper Cactus Ranch doesn't fade into memory. Let's save it together.
Pride isn't just a weekend. It's a way of life on the Gay PHX podcast.
Looking for a reason to smile this summer? Grit pool parties are back.
Freaking awesome!
And Tempe Sundays just got a whole lot hotter. Clothing optional. BYOB. And yes, the legends are true. Whether you're here to flirt, float, or find your tribe, it's all happening at Grit. Spots are limited. Visit gritaz.com to grab yours.
This is what community sounds like.
Hey everyone, happy Pride Month. It's Dello sparking with this week's puppy play events happening around the Phoenix and Tucson area this week. Let's get started. Tuesday, come see Pups and Friends compete in the Rising Star Talent Show at Stacy's at Melrose, hosted by the charismatic Mia Adams, starting at 8 p.m. On Thursday evening, catch the Cirque du Soleil trade show at Cobalt Phoenix, hosted by the one and only Bearded Beauty, Trey, starting at 8 p.m. If you're feeling frisky and Zoomies is your speed, meet up at the Zoomies Club at the Rock, Phoenix, at 8 p.m., hosted by Pup Stitch. It's hot out, so bring a water bottle and stay hydrated. On Friday, Tucson, get ready, it's time for Meet. It's a monthly queer fetish disco dance party and unofficial Tucson Pup Night at the Rock, Tucson, starting at 9 p.m. Saturday, kick off Pride Month with Club Pride, Tucson Pride's official video party at Hotel Congress in Tucson starting at 9 p.m. Finally, after a week full of debauchery, confess your sins at Sunday service at Drag Brunch, Stacy's at Melrose, starting at a new time of 12 p.m. Live performances by Trey, CCTV, and music by Pup Ivory. Lastly, get your game on at Paws on Board, hosted by Pup Lavender at Duck and Decanter, starting at 1:30 p.m. For full event details, including cost, gear level, and more, sniff amorypack.com/events. We hope everyone has a fantastic week and amazing Pride Month.
Need a little daddy getaway? Mr. Anvil Phoenix has got just what you and your daddy need to escape the grind in style. We're talking 2-night stay at the Hyatt Place Tempe University. Breakfast for 2 each morning, a $50 gift card to Culinary Dropout, a handmade leather flogger by Wayne Teskey, a leather Pride duffel bag filled with sexy toys, champagne, and more. It's over $600 worth of delicious daddy-level decadence, and it could be yours for just $1 a ticket or 6 for $5 if you're feeling lucky and thrifty. The winner will be drawn Sunday, June 15th at 4:30 p.m. during the Daddy's Demo Day Party at Anvil. Can't make it? No worries. You don't have to be present to win. Just show up, shout out, or show Daddy the ticket later. We're not judging. All proceeds go to the Mr. Anvil Phoenix Travel Fund, so you're helping support queer leather visibility while potentially scoring a weekend of your dreams. So go ahead, grab a ticket, call your daddy, and start planning your escape.
Uplifting the community.
One business at a time.
It's the Business Spotlight.
The name Koblat isn't just a bar, it's a creative heartbeat in Central Phoenix, built by and for our community. Whether you've walked through the doors or just seen the buzz online, one thing is clear, something is different that's happening there. Please welcome to the rainbow-tinted microphone, Jeffrey, the owner of Koblat. Howdy, sir. Thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Let me ask, did you own Koblat since the beginning before it got its remodel?
Yes. So there's a long, not so twisted story behind how I became involved with Koblat. My business partner, who is Robert Mancuso, who's still part owner of Koblat, we started dating about a little bit over 18 years ago. We met in the Gay Men's Chorus, and about a couple of months into meeting in the chorus, we actually went on our first date. And on our first date is when he told me of his plans to open a new gay bar in Phoenix, which became Koblat. And at that time, I was like, oh no, a gay bar, really? What am I getting involved with here? But he was opening it with his friend, his best friend, Brian Wiley, who you may or may not have known. So they opened Koblat together. I helped with the design of the logo, and initially I did all of the advertising and social media, website. So I've been involved with Koblat since the very beginning. So knew everybody who worked there and everything, and Brian and Robert. About 3 years into it, Brian got sick to a point where he was unable to continue to run the bar. So Robert, my partner at the time, asked me if I'd consider managing the bar until he decided what he was going to do with it. So a year went by after running the bar, managing it, getting to know everybody, and running it. And Robert was like, you're doing a pretty good job. The bar's doing great. Would you consider staying on as manager? And I said, sure, but this is what I want. And part of that was becoming part owner in the business. And that's how I became part owner of Koblat about 3 years into its opening. So I've been running the bar for the past 15 years myself. Robert is still a silent partner who's still there in the background, who helps and I speak with just about every week. But basically I've been the GM managing partner over the past 15 years. That's kind of in a nutshell how it happened.
Wow. And how did the name come about?
It wasn't my pick. So a group of friends got together actually one night at Robert's house. about 5 of us, and we all submitted names we thought would sound cool for a new bar. One of the names was Cobalt with a C, Cobalt. It wasn't my name. It wasn't the name that I picked. The name that I submitted, actually. The name that I submitted, if you want to know,
I do,
was Lazarus. My name for the bar would have been Lazarus. Reason being was because of the symbolism, raised from the dead, kind of similar to what Phoenix is, rising from the ashes. I thought it was,
right,
a good, similarity to what the city was and that sort of thing, and representation. But the committee thought it was too religious. I thought it sounded cool. I even had this like sexy logo with a, half naked guy and everything like that, ready to go with it. But they didn't like it. So I said, okay.
So this is going to show my ignorance. Is Lazarus, is that a religious thing?
Yeah, well, so Lazarus is the name of the guy who Jesus raised from the dead. That was one of the miracles he performed.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of where it comes from.
Got it.
Yeah, so it was cool. I thought it was a cool
like
name.
I said, my reference is from Batman.
So it sounded cool, I thought, and but I was like, okay, if we're going to choose Cobalt, let's at least spell it differently with a K, maybe. And that's what we did. We ended up spelling it with a K, and I came up and designed a logo for it, and that's kind of how the name was created.
That's awesome. And what do you want people to feel when they walk in?
What we kind of aim for when people walk in to Cobalt is for them to feel like it's welcoming and it's a place they can bring anybody with them. They can bring their partner, their lover, their boyfriend, their mom, their uncle, and everybody feel comfortable in a non-threatening environment. People always are coming out to me and telling me, why don't you do something like this bar's doing? Why don't you do something like that bar's doing? This event they're doing there is really cool. We should have it here. And I'm like, well, one of the great things about Phoenix and all the different bars that we have is that they're all different. And I've always tried not to, make my bar like somebody else's. Or if I did like an event somebody was doing, I'd try to make sure that we put our own spin on it.
Right.
And make it our individual thing versus, just copying what somebody else is doing. And the same thing when it comes to, there's lots of bars that are a lot darker and, no windows and that sort of thing. And that's fine. Everybody, I think should have a place to go and feel comfortable. And for some people, going to a bar that's, well lit and open and windows is a place that they like to go. And for a long time, a bar like that really didn't exist, a gay bar anyway, didn't exist like that in Phoenix. So when we opened the original Cobalt at Park Central, that was kind of one of the things that we were kind of known for being different as, a very open, well-lit, well-seen bar from the outside where you didn't have to kind of go in and, feel like it was night all the time. So that was kind of one of the things that kind of
It's funny that you say that because I was having a talk with a friend of mine and they're like, yeah, we used to call it the fishbowl because you could see everybody from the outside. I'm like, yes, exactly. And you're right. That is, I didn't think about it, but you're right. That is rare for a gay bar. Most of them are neighborhood bars or older bars that have been closed up to be more quiet, not seen. And I guess that's something that sticks out about Cobalt is that you do see it.
I think part of that also has to do with the society's change when it comes to us kind of being out there and out of the closet and be more visible in society. It's kind of a reflection of, where we have come from, whereas we had to kind of hide and be hidden where people really didn't want to be seen. I think the gay bar has evolved to a place where we want to be seen now. We want to be seen as living, having fun, and, sharing our happiness with people, and people be able to see that from the outside and know that it's a non-threatening thing. So I think that's one of the things that we try and strive and build when people come to Cobalt, when they walk in and, see the place that we've created there.
And what role do you see a queer-owned space like Cobalt play in the Phoenix scene?
As far as Cobalt itself, I've always, I can't say always, but I know I've always wanted to be a part of the community as far as a place where organizations can come and raise funds for themselves. Individuals come and be a safe space for them to perform in, and that sort of thing. So that's kind of been the mantra from the very beginning. The political part is kind of a recent, really not too recent. It's always been kind of in the background for us. But, after 2016, I was like, I can't sit on the fence and try and, be that place, the kind of place to everybody anymore, because 99% of the people that come to Koblat are of the same, I think, political persuasion. So I was like, I'm just going to dive into it and let people know that we're here for this reason. We're for minority rights, LGBTQ plus rights and progressive rights, and standing up and building and making stronger all of the the things that we've achieved over the last several decades. And I thought it was best that I kind of take a stand on that to keep us from kind of rolling back into, a dark place where lots of people want us to be hidden and stuff. So I became a little bit more open to, letting political organizations come in, right. HRC, the Democratic Party, other different organizations and politicians who needed a place to come and be amongst our community and let our community come and meet them face to face in a safe, well-lit, welcoming environment where people can kind of come and feel like, again, they can bring their relatives and meet these politicians face to face, ask them questions and let them know that, that they have a voice and that somebody is fighting for them. So I chose to make Koblat a place where that could happen for people and politicians and our community.
And I have to say, I really appreciate that because, I worked in political talk radio here for the longest time, and I believe I've actually met more in-person politicians at Koblat than I did working in radio because of the events that you have there. And it seems like all the political ones happen there at Koblat. Yeah, we try and do that. Like I said, especially after 2016, we kind of were like, oh, no, we can't just sit on the fence anymore. And, there are some bars in our community who like to stay apolitical, and that's great, and that's their choice. Like I said, every bar has their own thing, and they shouldn't be like each other. But, when I saw the writing of the wall and what was coming, and I was like, I can't sit aside and just kind of let it go and not say anything and use the space that I have to kind of help in what little way I can, versus just inviting people to come and have fun and get drunk and forget about the troubles. I want to be that too, but I also want to be able to say that I have actually done something. I made a small difference versus just making money off the community. Right. It's how do I put it into words? It's commendable, all the things that you do that I wish more of our businesses could. And I don't know why they don't, for whatever reasons. But you always stand true to what our community needs on a political level, and I want to thank you for that. Oh, thank you. It's nice to have that space to be able to go and, like you said, that's a safe space. Yeah. What are some of the biggest hurdles and challenges that you've come across over the last few years? COVID was a big one. That was kind of a game changer for, of course, not just Koblat, but lots of bars and in our community. Everybody was chugging along, doing great, and all of a sudden we hit a brick wall. Literally, yeah. Close to 6 months being closed without any sort of business happening. So it changed a lot. It changed the business a lot, especially for us in particular. I think people's drinking habits changed. The way people kind of prioritize and spend their money has changed. And it hasn't gotten back to where it was before. I've talked to other bar owners, and a lot of them say the same thing. It's just not the same. It's just not the same way it used to be. For good, there's some things that have changed that have been good, and some things that I think just are different. But I feel, for me as a business, that I kind of have to work a lot harder for the same business. We're an events-driven bar. That's kind of what we've always been.
we've kind of never been that neighborhood bar where people kind of just come in and have a seat and drink all day, and leave when we close. Events are what bring our people in, typically. And so it's an always evolving, ongoing challenge to kind of come up with new events that are changing all the time to bring people in, to kind of keep the business going. And when COVID came and, we had to come up with different events immediately that kind of kept people seated and in their seats and keep them from moving around. And one of the things we started doing a lot more of was drag, in particular, trivia nights, comedy nights. People had to be seated. So the kind of what we evolved into is that type of bar, and we kind of kept that model ever since. And it's worked well. It's kept us in business, and it's allowed us to be able to, become a destination bar when it comes to drag in particular. And we're really proud of that, and the performers, and being able to provide that space for them to express themselves. And, whether good or not, we're kind of known as the drag bar in Phoenix. I think a lot more beyond that too, which is why I always try and do different types of events. But, drag has served us well. We have great performers, like I said, and people get lots of enjoyment from it. When you mentioned challenges, one of the things that kind of surfaced after COVID as well was, especially on the right, was the villainization of drag, which kind of then led to where we are now with attacks against our trans community. I think they went for drag first, and then they started going to our trans community, which is a shame. I know several people in the trans community. They're amazing and wonderful people. They've taught me a lot and helped me understand, where they're coming from and the challenges that they faced, and makes me even more passionate about, being able to provide a space for people like themselves. And it really saddens me that, the politics is the way it is, where, they are attacking the most vulnerable in our community, which are our trans and our trans youth as well. So that's kind of been.
I agree. It seems like it's pivoted from drag queens to trans people because maybe drag queens are too popular now. I don't know. It's interesting, and it's very upsetting to see them attacking our trans community, and then also trying to divide us within our own community. That's also been driving me nuts, seeing people trying to do that. So I love that you're providing a space for them too. And speaking of events, what are some of the ones you've got coming up?
We just started doing a monthly Saturday drag brunch, which happening the third Saturday of the month. So really excited about that. We have a paint and sip event coming up on Saturday as well. We've had several of those in the past, and they always are a really good time. That's one of the benefits of having a.
So tell me about the paint and sip. Is that like where you get wine and you do a painting? Is it?
Yeah, so people come and
fun.
pay. It's a fundraiser, actually, and people come, and there's an instructor. They pick a subject matter, and they kind of help people paint on canvas. And they also have the ability, of course, to drink a cold libation or cocktail and have fun while they're painting and socialize. So that's going to be happening this weekend. We have different types of events every month. We are sponsoring a 1 in 10 dancer again this season. We have a Golden Girls Trivia Night that's going to be happening in June. We're working in coordination with Bunkhouse this season. And one of the things that I kind of wanted to do is try and get more bars involved in Dancing for 1 in 10, which is their amazing fundraiser they have every year. Koblat's been involved in that for the past, or as long as they've had it. It used to be called Dancing for the Bars, and several bars were in it and involved at one point. But then, 1 in 10 kind of it became 1 in 10's fundraiser, and they kind of went more of the corporate route and started getting a lot more corporations involved and Kobalt is one of the last remnants of that. So I thought this year I talked to them and I said, hey, can I get, I really am involved and friendly with Darren from the Bunkhouse, the owner down there. And I asked Darren if he would like to come on with me, and I explained to him, what 1 in 10 is, and of course, he knew about it already, and he was all for it. So I met with our manager a couple of days ago, Mikey, and we've discussed several events we're going to be coordinating together to help raise money for 1 in 10. So I'm really excited about that partnership. That's going to help, I think, and hopefully in the future more bars will become involved to where maybe one dancer represents all the bars, and that particular person can use every bar as a venue for fundraising to compete against, in a fun way, of course, these corporations that are all raising money for the same great cause. So
that's awesome. Yeah, we love Darren and Mikey over at Bunkhouse. They're great people to work with.
Yeah, for sure.
What are your dreams for Kobalt over the next year or two?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of open to kind of where the wind takes me, I guess. I've been, like I said, involved in this business for 18 years. And I'm a graphic designer by trade. That's what I went to school for. I moved to Phoenix originally working for a company in the game development realm. And the bar business is kind of something that I fell into, the story I previously alluded to. But, I've been involved with it for 18 years. And, I've thought about what I would do after, the story has run its course. I would like to be involved in the bar business for as long as possible, and as long as it works for me and the people around me and my business partner. But I also know that everything has a lifespan, and I know at some point there'll be a point where I'm like, I would like to hopefully hand it off to somebody else who can come up with brand new ideas and events that'll bring more people into the bar and keep it going, and then keep providing a safe space for members of our community. And right now I'm still into it, and I still want to do it as long as possible. But I think eventually at some point I'll be ready to kind of, okay, I'm still looking for new things to do, new things to try, and hopefully at some point, look to do that. But right now I still like what I'm doing.
Awesome. And to someone who's listening right now who's never been, how would you personally invite them to check out Kobalt?
The first question I would ask them is, what do you like to do? Do you like to, you like to come to shows? Do you like to sing karaoke? Do you like trivia? Do you like drag shows? And usually one of those questions that they say yes to. And luckily, all those things are fun events that we are able to provide. So I think that, I think we have something for everybody, depending on the day of the week. And, just like there are different gay bars that, kind of cater to different people's wants and needs and kinks and flavors and everything else. I think there's a day of the week at Kobalt that kind of caters to what people want and what people need. And sometimes there's a night where there's nothing going on, and they just want to come and relax and have a cocktail and watch TV and chat with the bartender, and we have that too. So I think that's probably what I would ask somebody is, barrage them with questions and let them know that, hey, we provide that, and that, and come any night of the week and you'll be able to find it.
Awesome. And where can people follow you or Kobalt online to stay in touch?
We're at Kobalt Bar Phoenix on Instagram and Facebook. You can Google us, Kobalt Bar Phoenix. KobaltBarPhoenix.com is our website to check out our events, get links to our ticketed events, check out upcoming events that are coming up, and feel free to email me anytime at KobaltBarPhoenix@gmail.com for any specific questions, events. We're always willing to host different parties, private parties, and things like that. Reach out to me, and I'll be happy to help you.
Excellent. And what do you want the Phoenix community to know about you? Not just the bar, but you as a person.
I think one of the things I would like people in Phoenix to know, and maybe people who maybe see me out and about and have been maybe, I'm very self-aware of kind of the way people perceive me, and sometimes it's, I think, I wouldn't say intimidating, but I think the funny way to describe it is having resting bitch face, or RBF. And some people may not come up to me because they think, oh, he's mad at something, or he's intimidating or whatever. I tell them, and my message to everybody is, so don't be afraid to come up to me. Don't be afraid to start a conversation with me. I'd be happy to listen to you and, and have a laugh and a chat and a drink maybe, and just get to know me, because I think that you'll be surprised.
And I agree. I can second that. I can agree that there have been times where I was like, oh, I wonder if he's mad. And then I've gone up and you've been very pleasant. You're one of the best people out there to talk to. You've always been warm and welcoming every time I've come up to you. So I can't thank you enough for coming on and doing this, and coming on and letting our listeners know more about you and Koblat.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me.
Pride isn't just a weekend.
It's a way of life.
Celebrate all month long
On the Gay PHX podcast.
Popcorn, peanuts.
You want to experience Pride Night at Chase Field like a VIP? Gay PHX and Oliver Electric are giving away 2 diamond-level seats to the Diamondbacks Pride Night game on Thursday, June 27th. And yes, parking is included.
Popcorn, peanuts.
You'll enjoy 10% off concessions and 20% off gear at the team shop. You can even order food from your seat with a QR code. Enter now at gayphx.com. Bonus entries for following us, Oliver Electric, and subscribing to the Gay PHX podcast. We'll draw the winner on Sunday, June 22nd, and announce the name in our June 24th episode. Don't miss this Pride Night hookup. Go enter now.
It's me, Mario.
I'm Billy Foster with Gay PHX, and the Arizona gamers want you to know that the Diversity Lounge is back at Phoenix Fan Fusion, June 6th through the 8th at the Phoenix Convention Center. This is your safe space to chill, play games, recharge your device or your spirit, and connect with the community. Everyone's welcome, no matter your background, identity, or fandom. Find us at room 213AB and come be a part of something inclusive, playful, and proud all weekend long.
Pride lives here.
That brings us to the end of another episode of the Gay PHX podcast. A huge thank you again to our incredible guests, Brandon Sowers from the Phoenix Gay Men's Choir and Jeffrey Perales from Koblat, for sharing their stories and showing us what it really means to build and protect community. And now, thank you. Seriously. We know there's a lot of noise out there between streaming services, social feeds, video platforms, and thousands of other things competing for your time. The fact that you chose to spend this hour with us, that means the world. Whether you're listening on a morning walk, during your commute, or just vibing with us in the background, you know who I'm talking about. We don't take it for granted. You're the reason this podcast exists. Just a quick reminder before we go. If you missed it earlier, head to saveccr.com to help support Copper Cactus Ranch and help protect one of the sacred spaces of queer rest and connection in Arizona. And if you've got something on your mind, call the Gay PHX feedback line at 602-429-9482. That's 602-GAY-9482. Tell us a story, send a shout out, or just say hey. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget, Kesha ticket giveaways are happening all Pride Month long. We'll be posting about how to win online and in person, so keep an eye out on our socials and gayphx.com. And a big thanks again to Oliver Electric for powering our Pride Night ticket giveaway. Those D-back tickets are waiting for you. Just head over to gayphx.com to find out how to win. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, this is your community podcast, and your voice belongs here.
Together, the sun is bright, and there's nowhere better than by your side. Work together, the sun is bright, and there's nowhere better than by your side.
Thanks for hanging out with the Gay PHX podcast.
Be kind.
Be bold. Be you.